If you are consuming food which is organic in India and it's certified by the state agriculture ministry and not by the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, then the standard will be different. And then there is a fifth standard for retail, and this makes life of everyone very confusing. Let's, as a consumer, you would say, after watching this video, I don't know what should I eat, what should I not eat. Is hydroponic food organic? What do you think? You are not the only one. This is a common question which many people have. Is hydroponic food organic? Is it as safe as organic? Can we consume it? If we are getting into a business for hydroponic, are we doing something wrong? Are we doing something which is not healthy for the people at large? So in today's video, we will try to answer that question. But before we can answer is hydroponic organic or not, we need to first understand what is organic. Only once we understand what is organic, we will be able to say whether hydroponic is organic or it is not organic. So take a pause, think about it. What do you think is organic? What are the top things that come to your mind when you think of food being organic? Maybe it's pesticide free. Maybe it is something which only has natural ingredients. Maybe it is something which is grown using cow manure or let's say earthworm manure or only natural things. Maybe it's something which is grown using kitchen waste, or think of any other thing that comes to your mind. Probably whatever these things are, the answer would be no. This is not what defines an organic. Organic doesn't mean pesticide free. Organic doesn't mean that you are only using natural ingredients. Yes, you are using a lot of them, but it's not 100% all of them being natural. So let's first understand what is organic. Organic varies from country to country. So if you look at the definition of organic, what is organic in India versus what is organic in the US versus what is organic in Singapore, they all are very different. For example, if we look at the US Department of Agriculture, they say organic is a word, and note this point, organic is a word which means that you have done X, Y, and Z. So organic essentially is a word, it's a label, it's a stamp, it's a sign, it's a recognition that you can use on your food as long as you are adhering to a certain set of standard guidelines to grow food, which are X, Y, and Z. If you do that, then you are organic in the US. Similarly, Singapore government has their guidelines. If you follow those guidelines, then you are organic in Singapore. Similarly, in India, there are different guidelines. If you follow those guidelines, then you are organic in India. So organic doesn't mean most of the things that you think about. Organic means that the food has been grown using specific things, using specific practices, using specific allowed protocols. Now, do such protocols exist for hydroponic in India? No. So to answer the question straight and very in a simple and straightforward manner, is hydroponic organic? No, if you are in India, hydroponic is not organic. But let's say you are in the US and you are growing hydroponic in US and you have gone for organic certification, US allows you to do that, then hydroponic is organic. So the definition of organic changes from country to country. And as laws stand today, in India, hydroponic doesn't come under the definition of organic. You might see many players talking about hydroponic being organic, aquaponic being organic, or multiple such things, but none of these can be certified organic in India. And as per laws in India, if the food is not being grown in soil, then it is not organic. It's very simple. It's in black and white. There are no confusions around it. And there's nothing about natural, using aquaponic, using fish waste. None of them is organic, and you cannot get certificate of organic for that. Okay. So now that settles the question, is hydroponic organic? No, it's not organic. Now let's come to the second question. If that's the case, will people buy hydroponic produce, or why will they buy hydroponic produce? Now let me flip the question to you, or let me pose a question to you. Why do you think people want organic in the first place? When you are saying you want organic, what essentially you are saying is, I want food which is healthy, right? I want food which will not do harm to me. And I understand organic is that category of food. That is why I'm asking for organic. So is hydroponic such a category of food which is healthy? Yes, it is healthy. But it cannot get the organic certification in India, but it is healthy. Now, if you look at the way food economy or produce economy is in the entire developed world, if you look at the pyramid, on top of pyramid sits organic food, then local food, which is generally hydroponic and sustainable food, and then the inorganic food. And this is where the entire world is evolving. This is where India is also going. And if you ask yourself answer to all these questions, whether I want, whether my food is healthy, whether my food is nutritious, yes, hydroponic is healthy, it is nutritious. Organic is healthy, it is nutritious. I consume both. I consume organic also. I consume hydroponic also. The only challenge is in hydroponic in India, there are no standards. In organic, the things are a little more complex. There are 5 different kind of organic certifications. There are 3 different kind of organic certifying bodies. So the Ministry of Commerce and Trade has a different organic standard, and there are 2 certifications that they give. One is for export, one is for consumption in India. The regulations for export are a little more strict. So let's say if you are having organic food grown in India, in the US, then the quality of that will be much more organic or much more healthier as compared to the organic food which is grown in India and you are consuming in India. Because within organic, there are different standards. If you are consuming food which is organic in India and it's certified by the state agriculture ministry and not by the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, then the standard will be different. And then there is a 5th standard for retail, and this makes life of everyone very confusing. Let's, as a consumer, you would say, after watching this video, I don't know what should I eat, what should I not eat. It's not very difficult. Look for the logo of Javik Bharat. Javik Bharat is a logo which is mandatory for selling any food as organic in retail. If you're buying something in retail and it says organic, it should necessarily have a logo of Javik Bharat. And along with that, if you can also find the logo of NPOP organic, then that's the safest food that you can have. That doesn't mean it's 100% organic. Even in that food, you will have a little bit amount of inorganic material, because without it, that food cannot be produced. When we talk about pests, when we talk about pesticides, you need to understand the creatures to whom we are calling pests. They are also a form of life. The food which we are eating is also food for them. And they exist in soil. When you are growing in hydroponic, you eliminate most of them because you are not using soil. But they also exist in air, and you cannot eliminate air. Even when you are growing food using XYZ or whatever method you are using, pests will come. They still exist in soil and air, and you will use control for them. For example, in organic farming, you will use some controls which are organic controls, some controls which are biocontrols. In hydroponic farming, you can use the same controls for airborne pests. Soil-borne pests, in any case, do not pose a problem in hydroponics. So hydroponic food can be as good, as healthy, as safe when it comes to safety as organic food. At times it can be more nutritious also, because you can actually control the amount of nutrition you are giving, and if it's a recirculating system, everything is being taken by the plant. And if you are growing in soil, then amount of nutrient will go down, and you cannot really control how much of it is taken by the plant. What you can do is you can look at various research reports, and you will see that often if hydroponic food, when it's tested in lab, and you can do that yourself, order something, send it to lab for test, you will see that the nutrition profile per gram is much better than any other method of growing, because the nutrition intake is much higher, and the nutrition that then you are eating is in the form of plant. It's not a capsule or tablet that you are consuming. So to summarize, hydroponic food cannot be categorized organic in India. It's organic in US. In fact, if you go to Singapore, even if you are going in vertical farms, they have a special category certificate, SSXYZ, which is as good as organic, because they don't have land, so they have to do that. Organic definition changes by country, and that's what was the main idea. But is hydroponic food healthy? It is healthy. Now, how do I convince people to buy it? The question is that. So let's say if you want to get into business, and how do I convince people to buy hydroponic food? How do I convince them it's organic? My straightforward thing, which I do and which I request you to do, is please don't convince anyone. Don't compare it to organic. Organic is a different category of food. Hydroponic is a different category of food. Inorganic is a different category of food. There are people who will buy hydroponic. There are people who will not buy hydroponic. There are people who will buy organic. There are people who will not buy organic. We are a country of 140 CR people. We don't need 140 crore customers, right? Even if a few of them are buying your produce, it's good enough. And are they buying the produce? To do that, the best thing is to test it yourself. Whichever city you are sitting in, just check the apps of the online players, the modern retail, modern trade. Check Big Basket, Milk Basket, check Reliance, check Zepto, check Amazon Foods, and search for hydroponic food. Search for organic food. Visit the big outlets, visit the big stores, and you see that you will see different names called naturoponic, hydroponic, local food, organic, and all of them are kept in same shelves. So the way market is evolving in India, and it's different in every country. The way market is evolving in India, hydroponic is treated by consumers at par or little superior to organic food. It's even costlier than organic food in India, which is not the case anywhere else in the world. But in India, hydroponic gets a premium even above the organic food. There is a growing market. There are people who understand it. There are people who are using it. People generally don't compare between the two. Like we don't compare between the two. And the only thing I will have to ask you, if you have this doubt, should I get into this? Because this is one doubt in my mind. I think ask yourself, do your research, and after your research, if you think you will consume hydroponic food, then believe that there will be people like you who will consume it. If after your research you think no, I don't want to consume it, then please don't get into this business, because if you are yourself not convinced, then you will not be able to sell it.